So, how do you find the footage? Sharp enough? Bright enough? I saw this dash camera in my car a month ago, and could be that it soon becomes my primary one. And if you're on the hunt for a good dash cam, let me show you what we've got. Hi everyone, my name is Michael. Warmest welcome to the Tech4All YouTube channel, the place where we inspect cool tech. If you closely follow the videos here, could be that this time I sound a little different, maybe I got a cold. And no, it is not the trendy virus with a beer-like name. myGEKOgear is a USA-based company, at least on paper, and is well known for its models mostly because of their good quality. These dashcams are definitely not cheap, and in my opinion this is a good thing, because there seem to be the right components and features included. In fact, the only thing that would differ today's superstar, the Orbit 950, from some of the most premium devices out there is the lack of 4K support. And even now, in 2020, it is still questionable whether it makes sense to record in 4K, because these files are getting unnecessarily large. Let me be more specific. We talk about a price of $179 with GPS, ADAS, front collision warning system, excellent low light capabilities, and, well, I'll keep some of the facts for later on. The way we're going to approach this review: first the hardware, then the software, and all that combined with a lot of footage and samples, and that flow is clear for most of my regular subscribers. If you like the plan, then please consider becoming one, and if you want to take a look at the product in advance, check out the link shown in the description below. The unboxing is one of my favorite parts, and the way a product is presented may tell a lot of stories, or show a company's attention to the detail, or can sometimes be totally irrelevant. We have a decent package here, with most of the tech specs visible on the backside, and we will come back to this point in just a minute. I have to admit that the main unit is very sleek and futuristic. Haven't seen such a slim dashcam in a while, and probably this has good impact on the heat disposal, but there haven't been any thermal issues anyways. Very nice looking is the lens on the front. Thanks to this large ring, you might think it's actually larger than usual. That's just a gimmick, and the actual glass on the inside is much smaller, but still very capable. Underneath the plastic shell, first to mention the processor, with bunch of features and excellent performance. Resolution can be as high as Full HD, 30 frames per second, and decent bitrate. I couldn't find information about the exact model, and it's definitely not among the newest out there because of the lack of high-efficiency video codec support. There was a vague information about the image sensor too. I bet it's around 2 megapixels because of the outstanding low light performance, a small battery, which is going to maintain the recordings in case of emergency, a large, bright 3-inch screen, which can be used for parking assistance too, and Wi-Fi. That's the most typical about the Orbit 950. The rear module also looks very nice, and note, this one is being installed on the inside of the car, so it won't be impacted by bad weather or mud or ice or snow. Okay, let's put now a micro SD card inside. By the way, up to 228 gigs are supported. And plug that mini USB and check the menus. I've said that many times and can't keep calm again. Really enjoy using hardware-based buttons. Perhaps many of you would expect to see a touch screen, but that one is actually with button navigation, and everything works so well. You can choose between the recording quality, and with a 128 gig card, it can store up to 1600 hours of footage. That's close to 10 days. I've used a 64 gigs card, and that turned out to work pretty well too. The GPS locks very quickly, made a test, drove 300 kilometers away, turned on the camera, and the GPS signal was acquired within just 20 seconds. True, the weather was pretty good, but that still counts. I'll skip the most common features in favor of exploring these two interesting ones. The ADAS, which is Advanced Driver Assistance System, which mostly lets you know whether you're about to depart the lane or dangerously get closer to the edge of the road. And the Front Collision Warning System, which reminds you to not get too close to the vehicle on the front. And because I've spent some time on myGEKO's website and found their knowledge database, which was great, One thing I really liked a lot from the best practices: a dashcam can encourage safer driving habits. And I've noticed that more people start to behave once they get a dashcam inside their vehicle, and that definitely pays off in time. Speaking of which, there also is a speed warning system. I thought it is super annoying at the start, but then realized that I sometimes go above the limits in places where I shouldn't. Credits to the Orbit 950 for showing me some of my malpractices. Installation was very easy. The front module just needs its perfect spot, and because I used that perfect spot for another dashcam, placed this closer to me. Generally, avoid that. The further it is from your line of sight, the better. Really nice is the option to fine-tune the angle from that front large-looking lens, and you can change the angle and the horizon adjustment both. The rear module is also very easy to install. The only challenging part is to find a discrete path for the wire. Often the isolation parts inside the car will give you the chance to sneak in the wire. And all that took me like 10 minutes with preparing the shooting scenes, so it's really easy. So nice that the rear module requires no additional cabling, it gets power from the front unit. And yeah, it's perfectly usable for parking assistance, which combined with a large display can be quite effective. Performance is great. You have seen a lot of samples already. Footage is sharp and detailed, particularly the night footage is a pleasant surprise, because the details visible are so many for such a small shooting device. I also like the fact there's a Wi-Fi option, and you can do some config from the app or simply download some of the recordings. In order the review to be fair, honest and objective, here are some improvement suggestions or things I find that could have been better. Like parking mode. It's there, but it's not based on a motion sensor. It gets triggered by the G sensor after a hit or a shake, and the dashcam is going to power on and start recording after that. I got hit on a parking, and by the time the dashcam was on, the vehicle that caused it was already gone. There's no high-efficiency video codec support, which can improve the compression and allow even more footage to fit at a certain size of a card. And thirdly, I prefer a supercapacitor instead of a battery, despite the fact this battery is supposed to work at super hot climate conditions. But the truth is that I liked everything this camera is capable of. Smart features, really well integrated GPS, and here I mean not only the speed info, but also the ADAS, the front collision warning system and the speed limit warning. The low light quality is superb, and the very stable operation, which also has to be mentioned. Very intuitive, user-friendly, somehow feels complete. So although a bit more expensive than most dashcams I review here, it totally justifies its price tag. And if parking modes, high-efficiency video codec and supercapacitor are not a priority for you, this is likely going to be the perfect fit. That's been another review of a cool gadget on the Tech4O channel. As usual, head over to the description for more details, discounts and links to the products reviewed. My name is Michael, can't wait to see you in another episode. Drive safely, take a good care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.